Hey guys, Henry here from Product Creation Formula. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to easily convert an image into a coloring book page. Now, before we go ahead and do that, I just want to let you know, here at Product Creation Formula, we love to give you tips and tricks to be able to help you create your products quickly and easily. Along with that, we also do product reviews, as well as tips on how to make money online. So if that's the sort of thing that interests you, how about you smash that like button, as well as subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can be notified whenever we upload more videos. Okay guys, let's go check it out. Alright, now here we are at Pixabay. Now the reason we're at Pixabay is because they have a wonderful section right here called vectors. And what you want to do is go over here and find some vector images that you want to be able to create in your coloring book. And then what you want to do is make sure that if you need to, you can convert it, and we can now then turn these easily, really easily, into a coloring book. Now what else you're going to be needing is to use what they call Cloud Convert, and I'll leave a link for that down in the description down below. And also another thing you're going to be needing is Microsoft Office PowerPoint. So we'll get this one up and ready and getting it going straight away. So I'm just going to left click on that. Let's just quickly do this. So I'm going to go to layout. Right, I went to this left hand pane. I scroll down to layout and we hit blank. Always like to start with a blank page. Now we also like to go here to design. And over here we want to go here to slide size on the right hand side over here. Click on that and we go over here to custom slide size. And we can convert this to 8.5 by 11. We click on that, and just over here in this box, just there we go, by 11, and then we can hit OK. Now we want to hit ensure fit, and this way we have this just as is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go new slide, and I'm going to be having 3 more new slides. So we have 5 slides in total. We can have more than 5 slides. In fact, I would strongly suggest you have nothing less than 24 pages. Now the first slide is going to be this book belongs to coloring book. Now, this coloring book belongs to whoever. And then over here we're going to be working on, we're going to be starting on page number 2, because that is going to be where the coloring book actually starts. So let's go back over here to Pixabay. And we're in the vector section. I'm going to be making this one about dogs. And we can hit enter. Now make sure you sign in. And if you don't have an account, join up. It's free. And it's really important that you do that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go down and we're going to find one which is a coloring image. We don't want something with too many flicks and flecks like this one here. It's going to make it too hard for a little child to be able to color in. So you want something simple like this one here. So let's click on that one. Now make sure you always check the rights. Pixabay license, free for commercial use, no attribution required. And that's exactly what you want to see. Click on that. And this is what you want to see, the SVG. You click on that, you go Vector Graphics, SVG. And SVG stands for Scalable Vector Graphic. So we go download, and we want to be able to create a folder. So let's go to the desktop here and let's create a folder over here. I'm going to right click and we're going to be calling this one dog. We're going to call this one dog coloring. That'll do. And we're going to left click on that so as we can open it up. And we're now going to insert that straight into there. Now let's look for some more images. Get rid of that. Okay, let's scroll down. Alright, this one's nice. Let's have a look at this one. Okay, make sure you check the license. Free for commercial use, no attribution required. That's always a nice thing to see. Go to vector. Oh, this one here is an AI, which is awesome. I'm glad we found that because I want to be able to show you how we can convert that. So let's download that, and we're going to be going into the coloring book section. That's great. We're going to hit that, and while we're here, we might as well convert it straight away. So let's go select an image, just remembering this is cloud convert. So let's go select image, and the one we want to select is this one here, and we want to be able to convert it to an SVG file. So we click on that, making sure it says SVG, and then we click on convert. And in just a moment, it will convert it over to an SVG file, and then we can download this image straight to our desktop. That didn't take long at all. All we now need to do, see how it says .svg? That's now converted it to an SVG file. We can now download that, and then it'll be dog. We can save that as is. And let's go find a couple of more graphics. Okay, so let's try out this pug. Okay, so we can make sure we check the license. Click on that. Oh, okay, cool, it's an SVG. We can click on that and download that straight up. And we're going to hit that one just there. And let's just look for one more image. Scroll down. That one there is way too complex for it to give a child. I would never give one like that for a child. Maybe for an adult coloring book, but not as a child's coloring book. And this one here looks lovely. Click on that and check the license. Yep, free for commercial use, no attribution required. That's what you want to see. Okay, this is SVG as well. That makes it easy. And then all we have to do is baby decoration. Okay, cool, we can save it there. That is fantastic. Now that we're here, let's go back to our Microsoft Office PowerPoint. And what you want to do is go over here to Insert. We'll go over here to Picture, and we'll go this device. We want to go to our desktop section. We want to go down to dog coloring. We go click on that. And let's just choose all of these images here. Whereby what I'm doing is I'm holding down the control key and I'm left clicking on all of these, and then I'm going to hit Insert. Now each one will come up separately, so I'm just going to click off here. I'm going to click on the first image. I'm going to right click and go cut. Go here and go Control V and paste that straight in there. Now do the next one with the next image. Go right click, cut, place that into the next one, Control V, go to the next one, which will be the big puppy here, go right click, and we go cut, and we can go down to the bottom here and we can go Control V. So as you can see, we now have all 4 images, and it makes it a lot easier. Okay, so let's go over to the first one. I'm going to get rid of this section just here. Now I'm also going to hold down the control key with my mouse roller. I'm going to expand up that image. I'm also going to hold down the shift key while I grab the corner, and this way it maintains the aspect ratio when I expand the size. Holding down the shift key, expand it up to make sure it fits inside the image very nicely. Now I'm going to just control back a little bit. So holding down the control, I'm going to scroll back just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, now there's 2 choices we have here. We can either hit Shift Control and hit G, and that will ungroup this entire thing. Or we can right click and we can go to Group, and then we can click over here where it says Ungroup. Now watch what happens when I do this. Click on that. This dialog box will come up. Don't worry about it. It says this is an imported picture, not a group. Do you want to convert it to Microsoft Office drawing object? And we go yes. Alright, so with that being the case, what we need to do now here is go Shift Control G or right click. But I'm going to go Shift Control G a couple of times just so as we can be sure we've got it all. Now I'm going to go Control A. Click off that image, go Control A, and that selects absolutely everything in the image. Now that we've done that, we need to go over here to Shape Format. Now the first thing we want to do is choose the color. We want to make sure it's black. We're going to be going to the outline section, making sure it's all black. Then we want to go down here to the weight. Now, if you want to make it a bit thicker, I would suggest you make it a bit darker, primarily because maybe either 3/4 or 1 will be okay, because you want the lines to be able to stand out in the image. So maybe 3/4 might be okay, and have a look at that. And then while we're here, we want to go and change this over to white. And as you can see, we now have a nice dark edge around all the parts that we want to have the child to color in, and it makes it easy for them to be able to see it. Now what we're going to do is go Control A and then go Control G, and we're regrouping all that together, and this way it becomes one single image. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that a little bit later. Okay, so right here we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to just click on this image. Now we need to be able to group it, ungroup it I should say, so we're going to go right click, we can go group and ungroup, we go yes, and we can go Shift Control G if we wish to, and that's fine. Now we can also, while we're here, oops, let me just control group, let me just group that up together, hit Shift because we want to expand that up and make it a little bit bigger. You don't want to lose the aspect ratio, so make sure you do hold the Shift key when you grow this image. There we are, that's fine. Now we're going to go Shift Control G to ungroup all that. And then once again we're going to go to the shape format section. We're going to be making sure we do the outline as thick as 3/4. Then we're going to go here to white, and there we have it. That is awesome. Now we go down here to the next image, same deal. Let's make sure you hold down the Shift key, expand out to make this pug a lot bigger. And same deal, we go to the graphic format, going over here to this one, we want to go to outline first, and we make that 3/4. Then we want to make sure that we oops, daisy, one thing we forgot to do. Let's undo what we just did. We want to make sure that we also ungroup this. So we go Shift Control G. We might want to do that a couple of times with this one. Shift Control G, Shift Control G, and make sure we go Control A to select absolutely everything. Once again, shape format, choosing the weight of 3/4, then going over here to the outline, and we're making that one white. And there we have it. And it's a nice dark image for a little child to be able to see and be able to color it in. And when it prints up, you know, when you get something like this printed up on Amazon, it won't be quite as dark. So having it slightly thicker means it'll make it easier for the child to see it. And here's the last one we want to look at. Same thing, click on that, Shift Control G, and that will do the ungrouping for you. Once again, Shift Control G, and you might need to do this a few times with this image. It all depends how many times you might need to do it. Now we're going to go Control A to make sure we select everything. That's beautiful. Shape format. We go over here to, there it is, shape outline, going down to weight. I'm going to go to 3/4, and over here we can go autofill, which is going to be white. And there we have it. It's all done. Now what we need to do at this particular point, one other thing we need to do is make sure we go Control A on each page and then go Control G to regroup everything. We need to make sure we're doing that primarily because we want to save those images. So if we want to have images of dogs in other coloring books, we don't have to waste our time and redo them again. So let's go from here, we go Control G, just making sure we're on the page, Control G. Oh, it's already been grouped, that's cool. And same thing with this one, Control G to group everything here. Oh, that's right, Control A, that's what it is, then Control G. That's what it is, Control A. That one's already grouped by the looks of it, so that's fine. Okay, then Control G. That's good. Alright, so now that we've got all this converted over to individual images, what we want to do is grab these and place them. let's go. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go copy, Control C. I'm going to go to the first page up here, and I'm going to go Control V. Now what we're going to do is grab the corner of this, holding down the Shift key, dragging that down and making that image a bit smaller. That will do. Drag that down here just a little bit, making sure you, making sure you leave yourself enough room so as you're not going to be going outside the bleed. Let's shrink this page down a bit so we can see a bit better what we're doing. We can drag that down to the bottom corner. That's lovely. Now I'm going to grab another image, maybe this big puppy here. Go right click, we're going to go copy, go back to the first page, place it in here, go Control V, holding down the Shift key, shrink it down till it's the size you want it to go. Okay, that's going to stop any second now. There we are. Drag that down. Oops-a-daisy. Drag that down. Oops-a-daisy. Let's shrink this page down a bit more so as it matches, making sure you leave enough room so as you've got room for the bleed. I want to make sure that's a bit bigger, so I'll drag that up a little bit. That's lovely. Now we've got those two images there. We can keep those there as they are. Alright, so being short, I'm going to make sure I bring it over just a little bit more because I'm a bit concerned about it being outside the bleed. Might even raise it up just a tiny bit. No point in having it inside, no point in having it going outside the bleed. There we are, that's good. Alright, now next thing you want to do is be in the home section. You want to go over here to the shape area. We're going to grab this, that there, which is the text box. Grab that, and we want to make sure we go to the text box, grab that and drag it across here. Now I'm going to go, this coloring book belongs to oops, there we are. Okay, and we're going to centralize that, make it a bit bigger, make it about 36, that'll do, and change the font style. I think that's a lovely coloring book. That looks lovely for a coloring book. And we're going to go down to the next one about halfway along, holding down the Shift key, hitting the underscore key, and having that go across to here just like that. There we have it. And then of course you want to make sure that you have at least 24 pages in your coloring book, because Amazon KDP does not like it if you have fewer than that, especially if they have to print the book up and sell it to somebody on Amazon. So they prefer it if you actually have something with a much larger amount of pages. So if you can do 24 pages or more, I would suggest you do 25, 26 or more pages, even 30. It's up to you. And then you can sell that as a cool little coloring book for children to use. Having it as an 8.5 by 11 makes it big enough for little hands to be able to cope with coloring these areas in. If you find that, if you think this is maybe just a bit too much detail, you might want to remove some of these little lines that are inside here, and maybe take some of these away if you think little hands can't cope with such fine details. Or you can make it that it's for older children, say 8 to 10 year olds, or for 10 to 14 year olds. It's 10 to 12 year olds, I should say. It's up to you how you want to do it. Okay, now another thing you might want to do is actually click on the image and then right click, then go over here to where it says save picture as, or save as picture. Now we want to go to our desktop and find that one we had before. Now remembering it was dog coloring, we double click on that, and we might want to also add a folder in here. So we're just going to go here, go over here, and we'll say dogs outlined. And then we have that. We can just left click on that so it opens it up. We'll go angry dog and place that in there. Then all you need to do with each of these images is to right click, save as picture, and save it in there. In this particular one it is pup and kitten, and then you hit save. And this one here, we can go pug. And you can get the picture, you can get the idea of what needs to be done. And because there's only 4, I will do it in front of you. And it right here, we'll do puppy. Save as picture. And we'll call this one puppy. There we go. Or maybe puppy 1 in case I decide to grab more images. And we can hit save. And it is done. Now the last thing we want to do is we're going to be converting this across to a PDF. Now what I normally have on my file up here is this particular icon here, save as. Now how I get that is over here on the top bar here. I go to this section here, I go down. If you don't have, because you probably won't have this unless you've watched my videos and done it and grabbed one before, what you need to do is just click on this downward button, go down here to more commands. Where it says popular commands, you click on that, go to all commands, wait for this bar to shrink right down. You then go down to the S letters. So as it save as, there we are. That's the one you want. You want to add it to this section over here by clicking that button and then hitting OK. But because we already have it, we don't have to worry about it. And then all we have to do is click on that. And then once we have wanting to convert it to a PDF, you go down to where it says PowerPoint presentation, you click on that and you take it up to PDF and you save it as whatever you want. Of course you could rename it, save it in whatever folder you want, wherever you want, and it is done. Okay guys, if you like this video, please consider smashing the like button, as well as subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you can be notified whenever we upload more videos. Hey, while you're at it, why not consider sharing, and also leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of this particular style of creating your coloring pages. Okay guys, thanks for watching and bye for now.